So I just watched episode 6 of DuckTales, which is the House of the Lucky Gander, where we get introduced to Gladstone in the 2017 series. So the main story of this episode is Donald's cousin called Gladstone. He's basically like the luckiest guy ever. You see flashbacks of him and Donald when they were younger, where Gladstone finds pretty much $20 like everywhere, and Donald just gets nothing but bad luck. And the whole episode, starts off anyway, that Gladstone calls Scrooge, the boys, Webby, and Donald to help him out because, they don't know. They just know that he was looking for help. When they arrive, he just seems to be absolutely fine whatsoever. Scrooge and Donald don't really like Gladstone that much because he doesn't really understand the value of a dollar. He gets everything for free pretty much. But the kids love him, but in particular Louis, and you definitely see it straight away. You could imagine Louis looking up to Gladstone because he's getting absolutely everything for nothing, and this representation of Louis, you can definitely see it, and it works very well in this episode, where pretty much it's Louis bonding with Gladstone, but also Donald is with them because he kind of wants to try to impress Louis, I suppose, and also trying to show up Gladstone. But unfortunately, as this episode goes on, it doesn't quite work. There's also a side story where Scrooge, the other boys, and Webby try to get out of the casino. But of course, it's always the way when you're in somewhere new and you're trying to read the map, you just can't get out. You can't understand, where the exit is of the casino, because they want to go on a journey looking for this cricket or golden cricket or whatever. But they just can't seem to find the exit. While they're looking for it, the manager of the casino keeps distracting them. He talks about like this water show or whatever that entices Huey. There's the whole thing with Dewey, which I think is funny. He basically just gives Dewey this like green tiger, which is kind of funny. And then he just like entices Webby with this like all the food from around the world buffet. And just Scrooge's reactions are just kind of funny, just how angry he kind of gets and the remarks he makes. Now, the main story with Gladstone, Donald, and Louis, it's a very obvious story, and the execution of it was alright. It could have been a lot worse, but it did quite a good job. And also, I really like the bit where Donald is at a booth, and he's basically placing bets on how many fingers the guy's holding up behind his back. And Donald just constantly keeps betting, saying 27 for some very strange reason. And of course, he goes into Donald rage, which is absolutely hilarious. Also at the end, not giving too much away, but there is an event between Gladstone and Donald. And just when Donald really just looks as if he's going to give up, it's kind of funny, the speech Louis gives him, which I won't spoil at all because it is very funny. Just sort of the execution of it, and I just thought it was very well done. Another thing is, with Launchpad, you only see him in like 2 scenes, at the very beginning and at the very end of this episode, and you almost wish they would actually, focus on him in this episode, because at the very start he talks about how an ex-girlfriend of his has an issue with the local crime gangs or crime mafias, whatever. And then when you see him at the end, you're just kind of thinking, what just happened to him? And I really kind of wish they focused on him more than the Duck family, really, because I was just really curious what was actually going on with him, what exactly happened, because when you see him at the end, I don't know, it was just strange. My overall impression of the episode was, I thought it was okay. like it's good. The great thing I thought was that we got to see Donald and Scrooge again, because those are my two favorite characters. Unfortunately, we didn't focus too much on Scrooge, but the bits that we did get were still funny. Donald as well. Again, I did think he was um, underplayed a bit, but he was still fun to see. It was good to see Gladstone. I never actually saw much of him in the old series because I only saw very few episodes. But it was good to see him in his new reincarnation. Also, it's good to see an episode focused more on the other characters. And I think some people were annoyed in my last video that I was saying that maybe there was a little too much of Webby. What I meant by that was, if you have about six or so main characters and you're only focusing on one for about 3 or 4 episodes, and there's only like 5 or 6 episodes out so far, I kind of would have liked it if maybe once in a while you go to another character and then another character. That's what I meant. I have nothing against Webby. Webby's a really cool character. She's definitely a lot better version of her previous version from the old series. But I do like to see, the other characters getting some screen time themselves, and then come back to the other characters. Don't just, right, they had a turn. They can come back. That's great. And also, one thing I'm still annoyed about this. We haven't gone on to the whole mother situation for ages, with the triplets. I have heard something online that's supposedly about the mother, and I kind of don't want it to be true, but I kind of think it would work. But the only reason I don't want it to be true is because I heard it, and now I can't get it out of my head, because then it's not really a surprise anymore. So I won't say what it is, and my apologies if it annoys people who are watching this video. That's pretty much all I have to say on the episode. Comment down below, tell me what you guys thought of the episode. I'm definitely looking forward to more episodes about the whole mystery of the mother, because that hasn't been addressed for ages. So I do look forward to seeing more of that. I kind of do want there to be an episode of what was actually going on with Launchpad during this episode. That would have been fun to see. I'm kind of curious if they're going to do more on of the other characters. Maybe a little bit more on Scrooge, maybe. Or even on Mrs. Beakley, which would be pretty interesting as well. I wonder what's going to be the next episode. And like this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe, stay up to date with more videos that I will have in the future. Check out my previous videos that I have, and hopefully I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.